This is ESBR Boxing in partnership with sharpbetting.co.uk. I'm joined by Owen as we are further reacting to what could be next for Joseph Parker after his two-round demolition knockout of late replacement Martin McCauley. He was, of course, meant to fight Daniel Dubois, who pulled out a couple of days before the fight with a virus. We were sick. We hope Daniel gets well and is back in the ring soon. Whether that be against Parker, remains to be seen. Whether Parker has another fight with somebody else, whether he gets the Usyk shot, who knows? But certainly in a strong position. Is Joseph Parker, and yeah, just jumping on with the one here. That's kind of what I want to put it to you. Owen. I think Joseph Parker could well have become a two-time world champion on Saturday night had he have been in the ring with Dubois and had he have done the job. It didn't play out that way. We obviously know what happened with Bacoli, the late replacement, blah 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 blah. But it's a win. It's another win on his resume. It's another win against quite a big name, someone that's avoided at heavyweight. Surely he gets a world title shot next against Dubois or Usyk. But what I want you to tell me is, mate, do you believe that whether it be Dubois, whether it be Usyk, Joseph Parker has what it takes to become a two-weight world champion and beat those guys?
Yeah, I think Joseph Parker can definitely become a world champion again, which might sound a bit mental. After I famously said I thought he was finished after the Joe Joyce loss, but the boxing math again doesn't math. Joe Joyce had a chance to sit and wait and become world champion, and now Joe Joyce is fighting Dylan White to potentially save his career. So that's boxing, that's the sport. I think he 100% has a chance of beating Daniel Dubois. I think it'd be harsh. Do you know what? I think harsh is probably sort of undermining it. I think to not give Joseph Parker the Daniel Dubois fight next would be an absolute disgrace. Everyone gave Martin McCauley his dues and this huge credit, but I know there was some, but I think Parker probably needed even more credit. Step accepting it. Still fighting on the card on 2 days' notice against one of the most feared and apparently avoided fighters in the division. Fair play to serious cojones on Joseph Parker to do so. I was actually going to back Joseph Parker to get Dubois out late. It was a fight I was struggling massively to decide. I was toying with who wins, whether Dubois was going to bomb him out nice and early or Parker gets to him late. But Parker's had this career resurgence. He's under Andy Lee. He's power punching. He's aggressive. I think when he fought Anthony Joshua, for example, back in the day when he was fighting Hughie Fury, etc. I think he was boxing move. Now he's a bit of that, but he is power punching, letting his hands go and landing big shots. So I think 100% he's got a chance of becoming a world champion again. And I think we will see that Dubois fight, and I think I will be backing him against Dubois.
Yeah, very interesting, mate. I think it's only fair he gets the Dubois fight. I mean, unless somehow Dubois Usyk gets made, I suppose an undisputed fight trumps all of that. But then at the same time, we've already seen that fight. You know,
Hmm.
Usyk. Everyone talks about the low blow, but Usyk basically won every round against Dubois and stopped him with a jab, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's maybe me paraphrasing and reading between the lines a little bit, but yes, Dubois has come on since then. And, he has those wins against Hergovich, Miller, and AJ, but yeah, I think it's only fair for Joseph Parker. I think people will see that as well. I think Frank Warren will see that. I think Turkey Al Sheikh will see that. I think Joseph Parker, you can't be denied. You have to get him in there with Dubois. Hopefully, this sickness isn't too serious. And I don't see any reason why that fight can't get made sooner rather than
Hmm.
later. Because I mean, yes, he had a big hard training camp, but he was in the ring for 4 or 5 minutes. Parker. Um, he's probably wanting to strike while the iron's hot, if that and Dubois will have put all those 12 weeks of training in, but for the sickness. So when he recovers, is there a chance this fight could get headline in the UK or something maybe sooner than the summer? Hopefully, I hope that's the case. And yeah, mate, can't disagree. I think I would have backed Dubois to win, but because I don't know, I'm not saying that because of what he did to McCauley, I'm all of a sudden getting behind Parker to do the same to Dubois, but I think definitely punching harder than he ever has, sitting down in the shots. And put it this way, it would not surprise me if Joseph Parker stopped Daniel Dubois. I would have always been like, oh, Dubois stoppage or Parker points. But see a world in which Joseph Parker could stop Dubois now. But equally, you'd have to be on the top of his game because Dubois, be more coming back from Dubois than Bacoli in that shape on that night. Put it that way. Right here, right now, I would still just say Dubois stoppage, but equally, I think it could be a firefight. I think, it would be class. And just before we finish, mate, we've mainly talked about Dubois, but just quickly, are you backing Joseph Parker to beat Alexander Usyk at all if that fight ever happened, or do you think Usyk's close to unbeatable, basically?
Yeah, I think with the current crop of heavyweights, I'm not backing anyone to beat Usyk. I think it'd be a good fight, um, Parker, because I think I do completely agree, and I think you were spot on with Usyk won pretty much every round against Dubois. Um, I know it's an accumulation of shots that mounted up to that, but it weren't exactly a massive hook or overhand right or uppercut that stopped Dubois. I thought obviously it was a low blow myself. His shorts were quite high, but it did look a bit low to me. But I just think Usyk could be too clever for Parker. I think it'd be more entertaining than Dubois, because I think Parker would, the way he's fighting now, I think he'd go for it, sort of nice and early as well. But yeah, I don't see anyone beating Usyk. He's got what, one or two more fights maybe left in him, and it's time to sail off into the sunset. So yeah, I think I'd back Parker against Dubois, but not against Usyk.
Yeah, I agree, mate. But say, yeah, I'm not backing anyone to beat Usyk, but say Dubois fought Parker and Parker put in a career best performance and knocked out Dubois, then maybe I'm wanting to see the Usyk fight because then who knows, Joseph Parker could be the man to defeat Usyk. But yeah, that's a lot of if buts and maybes. Right here, I'm not picking anyone to beat Usyk either. Now at heavyweight, to be honest, and I kind of part of me wants him to have one or two more and then just sail off into the sunset, retire. But yeah, anyway, that's a video for another day. This is all about Joseph Parker, but we're both in agreement, mate, about him becoming a two-time world heavyweight champion. Yeah, fingers crossed it happens. Fingers crossed he gets the opportunity at least. And yeah, guys, let us know in the comments, please, what you think. Can Joseph Parker become a two-time world heavyweight champion or not? Do you think he beats Dubois? Does he beat Usyk? How does it all play out over the next year to 18 months at heavyweight? Let us know. Owen, thanks very much for your time, mate, and speak to you again soon.